As you can see from the title, I worked 3 jobs in college. Yeah, you heard that right, 3 jobs in college. Uno, dos, permanent trauma. I know the question you're asking yourself is, why would you even do that to yourself? And the answer to that is, I just like sleep deprivation, not having no social life, and hallucinating from exhaustion. Oh, and bills and tuition, which is insane and I think should be illegal. All 3 of my jobs were in the hospital. I was an EKG tech, I was an ER tech, and I was a monitor tech. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty thankful to be able to have jobs that was directly related to my degree and also did not pay bad at all. But to be honest, that is not the reality for most college students. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of my dogs, they still making $11, $12 an hour, bro. Which I ain't gonna lie, I feel like is insane. I know it's not like that all around the country, but in Louisiana, the minimum wage is still $7.25, meaning that corporations down here can pay you $11 and get away with it. That literally means you gotta sacrifice your whole day and you only get $100. Twin, that means for that whole time, you get $80, almost $90. What in this economy are you gonna buy for $80? Bro, if your job is to live far away from your house, probably 50% of your check is already gone because you probably spending half of it on gas, bro. I know for my car, it takes $50 for me to fill up, and I use regular gas. So I can only imagine what you are spending if you're getting a premium. So that's a robbery, bro. In Louisiana, y'all gotta do better with y'all minimum wage. What are y'all doing to us? They still got us on that slave mentality, bro. They still treating us like slaves, bro. Like I said before, I was grateful to be able to get jobs that pay well and that was related to my degree. And I know you probably wondering how I was able to pull that off. And the real answer to that is, I got lucky. My mom doesn't like when I say I got lucky, but if I'm being honest, that was the truth. When I applied for my first hospital job, I didn't have no qualifications. I have brought no experience except raising canes. I mean, it is an entry-level position, but at the same time, I don't think they saw my application. It was just blown away. 2 years of being a fry cook. I'm sure this is going to be very helpful in him doing EKGs. I also was a freshman in college when I started. I wasn't very far detached or had learned a lot of stuff about the medical field in general. They literally saw my application and just pretty much took a chance on me. Now, obviously, standing here now, I feel like that chance has paid off for him, being that I've almost been there 3 years. But at the same time, I would be lying to you if I said they definitely didn't throw the dog a bone, bro. I don't work 3 jobs anymore though, because honestly, at a certain point, it got so bad that I was just stressed all the time. And quite frankly, I think if I did it any longer, I was gonna croak. I was stressed out so bad, it was messing with my eczema. I literally lost half of my eyebrow, bro. I wish I had a picture to show you of my eyebrow being gone, but I feel like it's pretty understandable for me not to take any pictures while I'm missing half of my eyebrow. I'm gonna tell you what my schedule is like while I was working on 3 jobs. Now, honestly, I work literally 60 hours a week. I would work every single day. In fact, I had 1 month where I worked 30 days in a row. And I worked 10 to 12 hour shifts. So these was big boy grown man shifts. I wasn't doing no small boy stuff. Anyway, I would wake up at about 5:30 or 5 a.m. and cry. I would leave the house about 6 o'clock and make it to work at about 6:30, 6:40, then cry in the parking lot. Work from about 7 to 12. Go to class from about 12 to 3, then go back to my first job from 3 to 5. After I got out that job, I would cry and complain about having to go to my second job and probably work from there from about 7 till 11. Then after I got off my second job, I would get in my car, look at the time, and cry again. I would get home probably about 11:30, 11:40, somewhere around there, and study till about 2, 3 a.m. in the morning while crying. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This was so bad, bro. I literally did not have time to do anything. My third job, I didn't go to my third job every day. I usually went to my third job on the weekends or something like that. But nevertheless, it didn't make it any better because I literally did not get 1 day off. For that job, I would literally go to work for 6 to 6. Bro, I had some terrible friends. Why didn't none of y'all talk me out of doing this? Y'all just sat there and let me croak myself? Hey, it is what it is. But back to my schedule, I did that every day for probably at least a year. And yes, it had its advantages. I made a lot of bread in the meantime. But at the same time, I had to sacrifice a lot to do that. I wasn't able to go to any college parties. I wasn't able to go to a lot of events. I wasn't able to have friends. And don't even get me started about dating. You think you have time to date? You try and go on a date when your only free time is from 2:17 to 2:26 every other Tuesday. And then that free time really isn't free time. It's just a break in between you doing work because you always have work to do. You're always going to be behind. You're always going to feel like you barely getting things done. And I'm talking about in terms of school now. And you always going to have that thought in your mind like, man, if I didn't work school would be so much easier. It probably would be, but honestly, I feel like going through this probably was a lot of character building because I don't think it's really anything at this point that I can't do. Like, I aspire to be a PA, so I feel like whenever I actually am able to be a PA, when I have to work like a lot, work long hours, I don't think it'll get me the same as it did while I'm doing this. I also feel like it'll give me a different type of appreciation for actually making a big bucks. If I told you how many days out of the year I worked and what I made, you would probably look at me like I'm absolutely insane. But at the same time, could have sat on my butt and did nothing. But was the work worth the reward? Probably not. I guess the real main motivation for me working through jobs is because I really just didn't want to be broke, and I didn't want to rely on my mom to give me all the bread I needed to, like, survive. Because being broke in college isn't a personality trait like a lot of people like to tell you. It's a trap. You know it's getting bad when you actually had a thought of selling plasma. I literally looked up how much bread I would get if I sold some plasma. And no, if you're wondering, it's not that much. But if I did sell plasma, which obviously I didn't.
Stop the cap.
I could have done it, but I don't think I would have enough blood to survive midterms. This day and age, college is expensive, but everything is expensive. College is overpriced, rent is overpriced, and nobody warned me that laundry costs $1.75 per load. Did you know that? $1.75 per load? That's why I live with my mammy again. Hey, I work 3 jobs, but hey, it's not all bad. So what? I sleep like a Victorian orphan, eat like a raccoon in a dumpster, and haven't felt joy since orientation week. But guess what? I'm still here, although tired, not broke, and passing my classes. Literally. And one day, whenever I made it, whenever I'm finally rich, whenever I finally have accomplished all my goals, I will donate to students who are in the same position as me so they'll have an easier time. The psych is over with. Y'all gotta feel my pain too.